Purdue is hiring now former UNLV head coach Barry Odom to be the next head coach of the Boilermakers. Now, this was a really interesting open job. Only got 2 seasons out of Ryan Walters because it didn't go so well, just 1 win this season. And that was the route of going, okay, we're gonna hire a rising assistant. And they went the defensive route, where Purdue's history has been with a lot of offensive-minded guys.
Right.
Now they go a little bit different, not the hotshot rising star assistant. They go with a veteran head coach who's been a head coach in multiple places, Missouri first and then UNLV. And what he's done at UNLV is honestly unprecedented. I spent some time with Barry Odom when he first got to UNLV because people were very surprised that he took this job. That is a program that hadn't had much history and much success since the early 80s. And what does he do? He goes out and wins nine games and then 10 games this year, and they're in the Mountain West Championship game. So I think what you're seeing is a coach that is not afraid of a hard job, and also someone who has been through a lot. He's been through ups, he's been through downs, he's been through NCAA issues at Missouri as well, and he's handled all of that, and he's hired really good assistants around him. So to me, I think this is a really, really good hire for Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, they have to have a guy who is comfortable at Purdue in building a program into something that historically hasn't been there. In the last 17 years, Purdue has been ranked in the AP top 25 for exactly 1 week, right? Like, this is a team with Jeff Brom that caught lightning in a bottle in the Big Ten West, of course, which doesn't exist, was able to make it to a conference championship game. So I think that mentality is very important. I do think this is interesting from the standpoint of, as you mentioned, Purdue has been known when they were at their best for these high-flying offenses, some great quarterback play, being able to put up points. Barry Odom, who's a linebacker, who's a defensive coach, but he's had some really good offenses too. And so I think you can get the best of both worlds here, where you don't have to sacrifice playing good defense to have an offense that fits what Purdue has been in the past. So I think they targeted a guy who kind of fits exactly what they would need at this point.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like, this is someone who's coached at Missouri. You understand the pecking order of the SEC when you're there. Purdue is going to be in that situation, especially with Indiana on the rise. That makes that job harder moving forward. And then again, UNLV, really tough place to build a football program. There's so much else going on in Los Angeles that you have to try to get people to give your attention to you. And it's honestly shocking. When I spent time out in Las Vegas and spent time around Barry Odom, I had no idea how low that program had been. I would have thought accidentally, based on the high school talent in Las Vegas, that they would have been better over the years, but they haven't. So I just think he understands starting at the ground and what it's going to take, development, identification. They had a very high-profile quarterback change at UNLV this season, and that did not deter them at all. So I just think it's so valuable to have a head coach in a tough place like a Purdue in this era of the Big Ten who has seen it all.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the biggest plus outside of, yes, he's had exciting offenses. He's had really tough defenses. He's won a lot of games. I think just the ups and downs of that is going to be really crucial in an 18-team Big Ten where you got a bunch of big blue bloods and big name programs.
No, I mean, the ups and downs are going to be there. And so to your point, being able to weather them and to guide your team, to know exactly what to say to your team during those points will be valuable for him. I think there's this flip side of in terms of saying things, being able to go to the athletic director and trying to strike that balance of, I know we are a basketball first place, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of the football program that really is a moneymaker nowadays. And so, there will be that back and forth, I think, that you have to get used to. But ultimately, from a football standpoint, I think they got a really good one.
Yeah, and I think one of the keys will be the rest of the staff and how this is going to look. I think you do need a much more exciting brand of offense to attract people because that's what Purdue's been when they've been at their best. But really good hire, I think, out of the gate for Purdue, and we'll be interested to see Barry Odom in the Big Ten.